My God, I do not understand, but I choose to seek you. I cannot see the whole path, but I kneel before you with my heart in my hands, because only you know what to do with what weighs inside me. Lord, there are moments when my soul becomes silent, not because it has no words, but because the pain speaks louder than my voice. There are moments when I look around and find no answers, when I look within and find fear, when I look toward the future and find uncertainty. But when I lift my eyes to you, even through tears, I find a Father who has never lost control, a God who has never been surprised, a Lord who continues to reign even when everything seems out of place. Beloved Father, in this moment I place myself in your presence just as I am, without masks, without trying to appear stronger than I feel, without hiding the doubts that try to visit me, without pretending to understand what still confuses me. I come to you because I trust that the Lord does not reject a broken and contrite heart. I come because your word teaches me that you are close to the broken-hearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. I come because, even without understanding, I know there is no safer place to pour out my soul than before your throne of grace. Lord, teach me to trust you when the explanation does not come, when the answer takes time, when the door remains closed, when prayer seems to rise to heaven in the middle of silence. Teach me to believe that your silence is not abandonment, that your delay is not forgetfulness, that your longer path is not punishment, but may be preparation, protection, growth, and care. Teach me, my God, to rest not in what I see, but in who you are. Because what I see changes, what I feel shifts, what I think often becomes confused, but you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. You are faithful when I am weak. You are good when I do not understand. You are just when life seems unfair. My God, I confess that many times I want to understand first and trust afterward. Many times I want you to show me every detail before I take the next step. I want maps, clear signs, guarantees, explanations, confirmations. And when I do not receive all of that, my heart becomes restless. But today I recognize before you that faith is not walking only when everything is illuminated. Faith is holding your hand even when the path is dark. Faith is saying, like Job, even if I do not understand, even if I am surrounded by questions, even if my eyes see losses and my heart feels pain, I know that my Redeemer lives. Faith is saying, like Abraham, who went out not knowing where he was going, but went because he trusted the one who called him. Faith is saying, like Mary, before a plan greater than her understanding, let it be done to me according to your word. Faith is saying, like Jesus in Gethsemane, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Lord, I ask that this prayer would not be only beautiful words, but a true surrender. Touch the areas inside me that still resist your control. Touch my anxiety, which wants to anticipate tomorrow. Touch my fear, which tries to imagine tragedies where you may still be preparing blessings. Touch my impatience, which becomes desperate when your timing does not follow my clock. Touch my need for control, which so often steals my peace. Touch the questions I still carry as a burden. Touch the wounds that made me distrust even the care of those who love me. Touch, Lord, the part of my soul that learned to defend itself so much that at times it struggles to rest in your arms. I know, Father, that trusting you without understanding does not mean denying the pain. It does not mean pretending everything is fine when there are tears inside me. It does not mean forcing my soul into silence or hiding my questions. Trusting you without understanding means bringing all of it to you and saying, Lord, here is my pain, but it will not be greater than my faith. Here are my questions, but they will not be greater than your presence. Here is my fear, but it will not be greater than your love. Here is my will, but it will surrender to your will, because I know that your will is good, perfect, and pleasing, even when I still cannot perceive it. My God, how many times have I looked at a situation and thought it was the end, only to realize later that it was just a bend in the road? How many times have I cried over a door that closed without knowing that you were protecting me from entering places that could destroy my peace? How many times have I complained about a delay without realizing that you were preparing not only the blessing, but also my heart to receive it? How many times did I think I was being forgotten, when in truth I was being guarded? How many times did you work in the invisible, while all I saw in the visible was silence? Forgive me, Father, for the times I interpreted your care as absence, your preparation as delay, your protection as loss, your discipline as rejection. Lord, I want to trust more. I want to trust when everything is well, but also when everything seems uncertain. I want to trust when there is abundance, but also when there is lack. I want to trust when the answer is yes, but also when it is no. I want to trust when I feel joy, but also when I am too tired to smile. I want to trust when I understand the process, but especially when I understand nothing at all. Because my faith cannot depend on circumstances, it must be anchored in you, eternal rock, safe shelter, covenant God, Father of mercy. Father, I remember that the people of Israel walked through the wilderness without knowing exactly what each day would be like, but manna came down from heaven in the right measure. There was no supply stored up for years. There was no human control over the miracle. There was daily dependence. Teach me to live like that, Lord, receiving from you the bread for each day, the strength for each day, the grace for each day, the direction for each day. Deliver me from the anguish of wanting to solve all the years of my life in a single night. Deliver me from carrying burdens that belong to tomorrow, when you have called me to live today in your presence. Your word says that each day has enough trouble of its own, and I need to learn not to turn the future into a prison inside my mind. Lord, when I do not understand what you are doing, help me remember what you have already done. Help me look back with gratitude and realize that I was never alone. There were days when I thought I would not endure, yet here I am, sustained by your hand. There were nights when I cried in silence and still the sun rose. There were battles that seemed greater than me, but they were not greater than you. There were moments when my faith seemed small like a mustard seed, but you did not despise that small faith. On the contrary, you held it, fed it, strengthened it, and today I am still here because your grace reached me. I thank you, God, because even when I did not understand, you remained with me. Thank you because you did not abandon me in confusing seasons. Thank you because you did not give up on me when my emotions were unstable. Thank you because you heard even the prayers I could not finish. Thank you because you gathered my tears, even the ones no one saw. Thank you because you know when I sit and when I rise. You understand my thoughts from afar, and before a word reaches my tongue, you already know it completely. What comfort it is to know that I do not need to explain everything perfectly in order to be understood by you. You know the language of my silence, the prayer of my sigh, the hidden request inside my crying. Beloved Father, I ask you to heal in me the rush to conclude that something went wrong just because it did not happen my way. Heal in me the habit of measuring your love by the number of immediate answers I receive. Heal in me the distrust that rises when life escapes my plans. Heal in me the tendency to compare my journey with the journey of others, as if your work had to follow the same script for everyone. Lord, help me understand that each child has a process, each calling has a time, each promise has a path, each wilderness has a purpose, each valley has a lesson, each season of waiting has an invisible work. I no longer want to live as a slave to comparison, Father. Sometimes I look at others, and it seems everyone is moving forward, everyone is receiving answers, everyone is celebrating victories, while I remain waiting, praying, trying to understand. But today I reject that lie that tries to make me think I have been left behind. You have not forgotten me. You have not arrived late in my story. You have not lost my address. You have not confused my promises. You know exactly where I am. You know exactly what I need. You know exactly what you are forming within me. And if I am still in the process, it is because something is still being worked on with love by your hands. My God, may I not despise the process. May I not run away from the place where you are maturing me. May I not abandon faith just because it is being tested. Your word says that the testing of our faith produces perseverance, and that perseverance must finish its work so that we may be mature and complete. So, Lord, if this season is producing perseverance in me, sustain me. If this waiting is forming patience, teach me. If this struggle is deepening my dependence, draw me closer to you. If this uncertainty is removing idols from my heart, purify me. If this pain is revealing areas that need healing, treat me with your love. But Father, while you work, hold me, because I am human. I get tired, I cry, I get scared, I question, I tremble before unexpected news. I am shaken by losses. I feel the weight of harsh words. I grieve over closed doors. I become confused when paths suddenly change. That is why I do not ask you only for explanations. I ask you for presence. Do not let me walk without sensing that you are with me. Even if I do not see great signs, let me perceive your hand in the details. Even if I do not hear an audible voice, let me recognize your direction in the peace that surpasses all understanding. Even if the storm does not stop immediately, let me hear Jesus saying to my heart, "Do not be afraid, it is I." Lord Jesus, step into the boat of my life. If there are contrary winds, be my security. If the waves rise, be my peace. If I am trying to row with my own strength and can no longer move forward, show me that you walk upon what threatens to drown me. The sea that frightens me is beneath your feet. The storm that intimidates me obeys your voice. What seems like chaos to me is only another opportunity for you to reveal your authority. So I ask you, calm my heart first, even before you calm the sea. Because if my heart is anchored in you, I can cross even the hardest waters without losing faith. Father, there are situations where I wanted so much to understand the reason. Why did certain things happen? Why did certain people leave? Why did some plans fall apart? Why were such sincere prayers not answered the way I expected? Why did pain come in seasons when I already felt weak? Why did doors open only to close again? Why were dreams delayed? Why do promises seem distant? Lord, I bring these questions before you not with rebellion, but with sincerity. I do not want to allow them to turn into bitterness. I do not want my questions to build a wall between us. I want them to become an altar where I surrender my limitation and receive your peace. I recognize, Lord, that there are things I will only understand later. Joseph did not understand everything when he was sold by his brothers, when he was taken to Egypt, when he was falsely accused, when he was forgotten in prison. But you were writing a greater story, turning pain into purpose, injustice into a pathway, waiting into preparation, humiliation into honor. At the right time, what seemed like destruction was revealed as part of a plan of salvation. Father, if today I am in a difficult chapter, help me not to judge my whole story by one painful page. You are still writing. You are still working. You still turn evil into good, tears into testimony, deserts into pathways, valleys into places of encounter. My God, I do not want to be guided only by what I feel. My feelings are real, but they are not the lords of my life. There are days when I feel faith, and days when I feel fear, days when I feel courage, and days when I feel like stopping, days when I feel hope, and days when I feel like I am at my limit. But your truth remains above my emotions. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. So when my emotions shout that I am lost, remind me that you are my shepherd and I shall not want. When my heart says I am alone, remind me that you promised to be with me always, even to the end of the age. When anxiety says everything will go wrong, remind me that all things work together for the good of those who love you and are called according to your purpose. Lord, help me trust your character more than my interpretation of events. Because I can misinterpret a season. I can call an ending what you call a new beginning. I can call a loss what you call protection. I can call a delay what you call perfect timing. I can call silence what you call depth. I can call the wilderness what you call school. But you never make mistakes. Your understanding is infinite. Your thoughts are higher than my thoughts, and your ways are higher than my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so is your wisdom above mine. Father, Give me humility to accept that I do not need to know everything in order to be safe. A child does not understand all the paths of the Father, but rests when holding his hand. And I want to be like that with you. I want to return to the simplicity of a child who trusts. I want to rest in the Father's arms without demanding that the Father explain every movement. I want to learn to say, Lord, I do not know where we are going, but I know who is leading me. And that is enough, because if you are with me, even the valley of the shadow of death does not have to dominate me with fear. If you are with me, a table can be prepared even in the presence of my enemies. If you are with me, the wilderness can bloom. If you are with me, the night can produce songs. If you are with me, my weakness can become the place where your power is revealed. My God, today I surrender to you my need to control people, outcomes, timing, and answers. I surrender the desire to manipulate circumstances in order to feel safe. I surrender the worries I repeat in my mind as if thinking about them 1,000 times could solve them. I surrender the scenarios I create before I sleep. I surrender the imaginary conversations, the secret fears, the frustrated expectations, the plans that have not yet happened, the insecurities I hide, the pains I try to manage alone. Lord, take everything into your hands. I do not want only to say that I trust. I want to practice trust by releasing what I cannot carry. I place before you my family, my home, my health, my work, my relationships, my decisions, my dreams, my responsibilities, my finances, my future, my heart. I also place before you what I do not know how to name, but still weighs on me. I place the feeling of being tired. I place the fear of failing. I place the concern for those I love. I place the marks of old disappointments. I place the expectations that still hurt. I place before you every area where I have said, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And I ask you, Father, help my unbelief. Do not despise my small faith. Breathe upon it. Feed it with your word. Strengthen it with your presence. Renew it with your love. May my faith not be based on moments of passing emotion, but on deep roots. May I be like a tree planted by streams of water, bearing fruit in due season whose leaves do not wither. Even in dry times, may my roots be immersed in you. Even when outwardly I seem tired, may there be life within me sustained by your Spirit. Holy Spirit, comfort me. You are the promised comforter, the one who dwells in me, the one who intercedes with groanings too deep for words when I do not know how to pray. Come upon my tired mind. Come upon my afflicted heart. Come upon my confused emotions. Put in order what is disordered within me. Silence the voices of accusation, fear, and despair. Remind me of the words of Jesus. Remind me of the promises of the Father. Remind me that I am loved, chosen, guarded, and sustained. Remind me that the final word over my life does not come from circumstances, from the news, from human opinion, or from fear, but from God. Lord, when I do not understand, help me worship, because worship shifts my eyes from the greatness of the problem to the greatness of my God. When Paul and Silas were imprisoned, wounded, and treated unjustly, they prayed and sang praises at midnight. They did not wait for the door to open before worshiping. They worshipped while still inside the prison. Teach me this faith, Father. Teach me to praise before the answer, to give thanks before I see, to declare your goodness before the change happens. May my worship not be held hostage by favorable circumstances. May I be able to say, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. But I recognize, Lord, that worshiping in the middle of pain is not easy. So hold my voice when it fails. Receive my tears as prayer. Receive my perseverance as praise. Sometimes staying standing is already a form of worship. Sometimes not giving up is already a declaration of faith. Sometimes getting out of bed and saying, God, help me today, is already an altar. So, Father, receive even these small acts. Receive my attempt. Receive my desire to trust even when my soul still trembles. Receive my imperfect but sincere surrender. Lord, I ask your forgiveness for every time I searched for security outside of you. Forgive me when I looked to people for what only you could give me. Forgive me when I turned blessings into the main sources of my peace. Forgive me when I allowed the absence of an answer to define my view of your love. Forgive me when I murmured without realizing how many mercies were already sustaining me. Forgive me when I forgot that the greatest gift is not understanding everything, but belonging to you. Because if I have you, I have a hope that the world cannot take away. If I have you, I have a refuge that no storm can destroy. If I have you, my story does not end in confusion. Father, I declare before you that I do not want a superficial faith that only exists when everything happens as I desire. I want a deep faith, purified, firm, rooted. I want a faith that crosses through nights. I want a faith that survives questions. I want a faith that remains when emotions do not help. I want a faith that loves you for who you are, not only for what you do. I want a faith that says, though the fig tree does not blossom, though there is no fruit on the vine, though the olive crop fails, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. Lord, this word is strong, and I know I can only live it by your grace. I am not strong enough on my own. I am not spiritual enough by myself. I depend on you in order to trust you. I depend on you even to surrender. That is why I ask, produce this trust in me. Form in me a heart that rests. Break the hardness in me, but do not break me without healing me. Shape me as the potter shapes the clay. If there are areas out of alignment, align them. If there are desires that need to be surrendered, receive them. If there are dreams that need to be purified, purify them. If there are old fears guiding my decisions, set me free. My God, I know that trusting does not mean becoming passive in life. It means acting when you command me to act and waiting when you command me to wait. It means taking steps of obedience, even without having all the answers. It means doing my part without trying to take your place. So give me wisdom to discern what belongs to me and what belongs to you. May I not use faith as an excuse to avoid responsibility, but may I also not use responsibility as an excuse to carry burdens only you can sustain. Teach me the holy balance between obeying and resting. Father, when I need to make decisions without seeing everything, guide me. Close the doors that do not come from you, even if I deeply want to enter them. Open the doors that come from your purpose, even if I am afraid to walk through them. Deliver me from paths that seem good in my own eyes but do not lead to life. Give me discernment to recognize your voice above the voices of hurry, vanity, neediness, anxiety, and pressure. May your peace rule in my heart like an umpire. May I not move only by impulse nor remain paralyzed by fear. May I walk in obedience. Lord, there is something precious in trusting without understanding. It reveals who truly occupies the center of my heart. When I understand everything, sometimes I trust the explanation more than I trust you. When I have guarantees, I rest more in control than in your presence. But when I do not understand, I am invited to rest in God alone. And perhaps that is why this season, as difficult as it may be, can also be sacred. Because here, in the place of uncertainty, I discover whether my soul is anchored in the Lord or in the answers I want to receive. So, Father, anchor my soul in you. May my hope enter beyond the veil. May my security be firmly established in the cross, where your love was revealed so deeply that no circumstance can deny it. Jesus, when I look at the cross, let me remember, God loves me. Even when I do not understand, the cross proves I am not abandoned. Even when I suffer, the cross proves that you entered human pain and overcame it. Even when there seems to be silence, the cross reminds me that between the Friday of pain and the Sunday of resurrection, there was a Saturday of apparent silence, but heaven had not lost control. Lord, perhaps I am living through a Saturday of the soul, an interval between the promise and the fulfillment, between the death of a dream and the resurrection of something new. Help me not to give up on Saturday. Help me wait for Sunday. Help me trust that the stone will be rolled away at the right time. Father, strengthen those who are praying this prayer with me. You know the story of every person, every tear, every fear, every question. There is someone listening to or reading these words with a tight heart, trying to find strength to continue. There is someone who does not understand why life took a certain direction. There is someone waiting for an answer for a long time. There is someone tired of being strong. There is someone afraid of losing faith. There is someone who smiles on the outside but inside cries out for help. Lord, visit that life now. May your presence be felt deeply, like an embrace in the spirit, like balm for the soul, like light entering a dark room. May that person feel they are not alone. May they know that you see them, know them, and sustain them. God of all comfort, reach those who cry in secret. Reach those who have no more words. Reach those who are confused. Reach those wounded by losses, betrayals, disappointments, and long seasons of waiting. Reach those who are trying to trust, but feel their faith is fragile. Breathe life again, lift up the downcast, renew the weary, rekindle hope. May no one finish this prayer the same way they began. May there be a silent but real movement within the heart. May the weight begin to lift. May peace begin to occupy space. May trust begin to be born again. Lord, I do not want to leave this prayer with emotion only. I want to leave with surrender. Emotion passes, but surrender transforms. So I say, take my life, take my desires, take my worries, take my questions, take my plans, take my fears, take my expectations, take even what I struggle to surrender. I place everything on the altar, not because it has stopped mattering, but because it matters so much that it needs to be in your hands, not mine. What is in my hands can be crushed by fear. What is in your hands is guarded by faithfulness. Father, if I have to wait, let me wait with you. If I have to walk in the dark, let me walk holding your hand. If I have to cry, may my tears draw me closer to you and not push me away. If I have to begin again, let me begin sustained by your grace. If I have to let go, may I not lose confidence. If I have to receive something new, give me humility to recognize your gift. If I have to cross the valley, may I not forget that the valley is not a permanent home, but a passage. You lead me in paths of righteousness for your name's sake. Lord, in this moment I take a deep breath before you and declare, I trust God even without understanding. I trust because God is good. I trust because God is faithful. I trust because God is Father. I trust because God sees the end from the beginning. I trust because God does not waste tears. I trust because God works in the invisible. I trust because God makes a way in the wilderness and rivers in dry places. I trust because God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine according to his power at work within us. I trust, not because everything is clear, but because the Lord is light. I trust, not because my heart never fears, but because your love casts out fear. I trust, not because I am strong, but because your grace is made perfect in my weakness. And when doubt returns, because perhaps it will try to return, remind me of this surrender. When anxiety knocks at the door again, remind me that I have already placed my life in your hands. When the night seems long, remind me that the dawn belongs to the Lord. When I hear thoughts saying that nothing is happening, remind me that roots grow in silence, seeds germinate beneath the soil, and miracles often begin invisibly. When I want to give up, remind me of all the times you sustained me. When I want to control everything again, call me back to rest. Father, I desire to learn the language of trust. May my words be more full of faith than fear. May my mind meditate more on your promises than on the possibilities of failure. May my eyes look for your signs of grace in everyday life. May my knees find the floor before my heart gives itself over to despair. May my mouth declare life, hope, and truth. May my hands work with diligence, but my heart remain rested in you. May my home be filled with the peace of Christ. May my soul find rest in the God who cares for me. Lord, I know there will be days when this prayer must be repeated not only with my mouth, but with my actions. There will be days when trusting will mean choosing not to respond with despair. There will be days when trusting will mean turning off anxious thoughts and opening your word. There will be days when trusting will mean forgiving, waiting, obeying, remaining silent, resting, beginning again. There will be days when trusting will mean saying no to fear, even with a racing heart. There will be days when trusting will mean continuing to plant without seeing immediate fruit. Prepare me for those days, Lord. May my faith be practical, alive, and persevering. My God, if there is anything that still needs to be removed from me so that I may trust more, remove it with mercy. If there is pride disguised as prudence, reveal it. If there is fear disguised as control, heal it. If there is unbelief disguised as realism, transform it. If there are old wounds distorting my view of you, restore me. I do not want to project onto you the human failures I have experienced. You are not like those who promised and did not fulfill. You are not like those who came close and then left. You are not like those who heard my pain and did not care. You are faithful God. You are perfect Father. You are love that never fails. Lord, I turn my heart to the Scriptures and remember Proverbs, which says to trust in the Lord with all my heart and not lean on my own understanding, to acknowledge Him in all my ways, and He will make my paths straight. Today, I want to live this word. I do not want to lean on my own understanding, because my understanding is limited. It sees pieces, but you see the whole. It is based on the present, but you know eternity. It is affected by fear, but you are guided by love, justice, and perfect wisdom. So I choose to acknowledge the Lord in all my ways. I acknowledge you in joy and in pain. I acknowledge you in the answer and in the waiting. I acknowledge you in the open door and in the closed door. I acknowledge you in the valley and on the mountain. I acknowledge you in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Make my path straight, Father. Straighten what I have bent through anxiety. Straighten what became confused through rushed decisions. Straighten the path before my feet. Straighten also my vision, so that I may see with faith. Straighten my posture, so that I may walk with humility. Straighten my priorities, so that the kingdom comes first. Straighten my desires, so that I may want what is aligned with your heart. Straighten my hope, so that it does not depend on people or circumstances, but on you. Lord, in this first deep surrender of my soul, I want to remain a little longer in your presence, because I feel there are still places within me being touched. I do not want to rush the encounter with you. I have spent too much time rushing for answers, and perhaps I forgot how to rest in the relationship. So now I stay here before you, not only asking for solutions, but seeking your face. Because when I seek only solutions, I may become frustrated with the timing. But when I seek your face, I find strength to endure any season. Your presence is better than an immediate answer. Your peace is better than control. Your love is better than every human guarantee. Father, I love you, even when I do not understand. I worship you, even when I do not see. I seek you, even when I am tired. I surrender, even when part of me is still afraid. Receive this prayer as the seed of a deeper trust. May something new begin in me now. May faith rise. May hope breathe. May the soul find rest. May fear lose strength. May your voice be louder than the storm. May I not leave your presence trying to force every explanation out of heaven, but carrying in my heart a holy certainty. God is with me. God cares for me. God knows what He is doing, and even without understanding, I can trust. And as this certainty begins to take root within me, I remain before you, Lord, opening my heart even more, because there are depths in my soul that need to learn how to rest, memories that need healing, areas that still need to be surrendered, thoughts that need to be brought into obedience to Christ, and I want to allow your light to enter every corner, every fear, every silence, every question that still remains, so that my trust may not be merely a phrase spoken in prayer, but an entire life being placed little by little, safely and completely into your hands. And as I remain before you, Lord, with an open heart and a surrendered soul, I realize that trusting God even without understanding is not only a decision made in a single moment, but a daily walk, a surrender that is renewed every morning, a choice I must make when I wake up and still do not have all the answers. When I look at life and there are still questions without explanation, when the world around me tries to convince me that I need to control everything in order to be safe. But your word calls me to rest, to cast all my anxiety upon you, because you care for me. Beloved Father, I want to learn to truly cast everything upon you, not just say I have surrendered and then quietly take it back. Not just say I trust while my mind remains trapped in the same fear. Not just open my hands for a few seconds and then close them again around what worries me. I want to surrender deeply, sincerely, completely. I want to learn to place on your altar what steals my sleep, what makes my heart race, what makes me imagine scenarios that may never happen, what makes me suffer before the time. Teach me, Lord, to live as a child, not as someone abandoned to their own fate. Because many times, my God, I act as if I were alone. I think too much, calculate too much, fear too much, carry too much. I try to solve in my mind what can only be solved in prayer. I try to predict the future as if my peace depended on knowing everything before it happens. But today, before you, I recognize my peace does not come from knowing the future. My peace comes from knowing the God who is already in the future. You are already there. The tomorrow that frightens me is not unknown to you. The path I still cannot see is already before your eyes. The answer that has not yet arrived is already under your sovereignty. The detail that worries me has not escaped your attention. Lord, what a powerful truth this is. Nothing escapes your care. Not a tear, not an unspoken word, not a hidden concern, not an old pain, not a present confusion, not a future threat. Everything is before you. And if everything is before you, I do not need to live as if everything depended on me. I can breathe, I can rest, I can wait, I can obey. I can walk one step at a time because the Lord did not call me to carry eternity on my shoulders. The Lord called me to trust in the eternal God. Father, there are moments when my mind asks, but what if it does not work out? And in that moment I need to hear your voice saying, I am still God. There are moments when my heart asks, but what if I lose? And I need to remember that, in you, no true surrender is ever wasted. There are moments when anxiety asks, but what if the answer never comes? And I need to remember that the Lord does not sustain only with answers. The Lord sustains with presence. There are moments when pain asks, but why me? And I need to remember that Jesus also suffered, also wept, also was rejected, also faced anguish. And because of that, he understands my weakness, has compassion on me, and intercedes for me. Lord Jesus, you know what it means to trust the Father in the middle of pain. You know what it means to walk in obedience even when the path leads to the cross. You know what it means to be misunderstood, abandoned, betrayed, wounded, tempted to give up, and yet remain faithful. That is why I look to you and ask, teach me to trust as you trusted. Teach me to say, Father, even when pain tries to make me feel distant. Teach me to keep praying even when my soul is in anguish. Teach me to surrender my will without hardening my heart. Teach me to pass through Gethsemane without running away from the presence of God. Because, Lord, there are Gethsemanes in life. There are nights when the soul feels crushed, when the heart bends under the weight of decisions, losses, fears, and waiting. There are moments when no one around can understand the depth of the inner battle. There are moments when even those closest to us fall asleep while a battle is taking place within us. But Jesus showed us that even in Gethsemane there is a path, falling on our knees before the Father, not running away, but running to God, not hiding the anguish, but presenting it to the Father, not pretending to be strong, but seeking strength from above. So, my God, when my soul is in its own Gethsemane, draw me close to you. May I not first seek distractions, escapes, despair, or control. May I seek your face. May I say, Father, I do not understand, but I am here. Father, I am afraid, but I am here. Father, I wanted another path, but I am here. Father, not my will be done, but yours. And may these words not come only from my lips, but from the deepest center of my being. Lord, I ask you to set me free from the need to appear unshakable. There is a difference between having faith and pretending that nothing hurts. Faith is not the absence of tears. Faith is continuing to look to you through them. Faith is not the absence of questions. Faith is not allowing the questions to become greater than the God who sustains me. Faith is not never feeling fear. Faith is bringing fear into the presence of the one who is greater than fear. So, Father, I do not want to build a spirituality of appearances. I want a true, honest, biblical, living faith. A faith that knows how to cry, but also knows how to worship. That knows how to ask, but also knows how to surrender. That knows how to wait, but also knows how to remain. My God, I think of so many of your servants who trusted without understanding. Noah built an ark before the rain. Abraham went out without knowing where he was going. Moses lifted his staff before the sea, before seeing the waters part. Joshua marched around walls before seeing them fall. David faced Goliath before wearing a crown. Daniel entered the lion's den without knowing if he would come out alive. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the furnace, declaring that you were able to deliver them. But even if you did not deliver them in the way they expected, they would not bow before another god. What kind of faith is this, Lord? What deep trust is this that does not depend on the immediate outcome, but is anchored in the character of God? I want that faith, Father. Not an arrogant faith that demands everything happen my way, not a transactional faith that seeks you only for blessings, not a fragile faith that disappears in the first storm. I want a surrendered faith, one that knows you can perform the miracle, but also knows that even before the miracle, you are already worthy of worship. I want a faith that does not negotiate faithfulness, a faith that says, God is able to deliver me, but if the process is different from what I expect, I will still belong to Him. Lord, form this in me. Father, when I do not understand, guard my heart from murmuring. I know that murmuring is often born from pain, but I also know it can harden the soul. The people in the wilderness saw miracles, saw the sea open, saw bread fall from heaven, saw water come from the rock, saw the cloud and the pillar of fire, and yet many times they murmured because the path was difficult. Lord, I do not want to be someone who forgets yesterday's miracles in the face of today's difficulty. I do not want to allow a dry season to erase the memory of your faithfulness. Help me remember. Help me keep memorials of your grace. Help me say, like Samuel, thus far the Lord has helped us. Thus far the Lord has helped me. Thus far your hand has sustained me. Thus far your mercy has not failed. Thus far your grace has reached me. Thus far I have passed through good days and difficult days, through answers and waiting, through laughter and tears, through beginnings and endings. But in all of it you have been with me. If I am here now praying, breathing, seeking your presence, it is because the Lord preserved me. And if you have sustained me until now, I believe you will also sustain me ahead. The God who was faithful yesterday will not stop being faithful tomorrow. The God who opened doors before is still God over today's doors. The God who healed wounds before is still balm for present pain. Lord, I thank you for the answers I understood, and also for the ones I will only understand later. I thank you for open doors and closed doors. I thank you for visible and invisible deliverances. I thank you for the people who stayed, and also for those who left when they were no longer part of the purpose. I thank you for days of abundance, but also for the days when I learned dependence. I thank you for the mountains, but also for the valleys where I learned that the shepherd does not abandon his sheep. I thank you because even when I complained, you were patient. Even when I doubted, you remained faithful. Even when I tried to control everything, you continued to lead with mercy. Father, I also want to pray for whoever is with me in this prayer, for every life that has made it this far needing to hear a word of hope. Lord, may this person feel right now that your hand is upon them. Perhaps they are facing a difficult decision, a recent loss, a long wait, a family battle, an illness, a financial crisis, an emotional pain, spiritual confusion, a season of silence. Perhaps they are smiling in front of others, but inside they are wondering how much longer they will have strength. Lord, visit this person with your presence. May they realize they have not been forgotten. May they know that heaven is not closed. May they know that the story is not over. May they know that the Lord is still working, even when human eyes cannot see. And Father, If this prayer is touching someone's heart, may that person not keep this faith only to themselves. May they strengthen this purpose like this video, comment what God is speaking to their heart, and subscribe to the meaning of the Bible, so they can continue receiving messages that draw the soul closer to your word, lift faith, rekindle hope, and remind every life that there is a present God, even when we do not understand the path. May every gesture also be a way of spreading this prayer, so that more people may be reached, comforted, and led to your love. Lord, may this simple act of sharing, commenting, and staying connected with messages from your word be used by you to reach someone who may be at their limit, because we do not know who needs to hear that there is still hope. We do not know who is searching for an answer in the middle of the night. We do not know who is close to giving up and may be touched by a prayer, by a word, by a testimony, by a reminder that God does not fail. Use, Father, everything done with sincerity to glorify your name. May this prayer not be only content, but an instrument. May it not be only sound, but a seed. May it not be only words, but an encounter. My God, turning my heart back to you, I recognize that trusting without understanding requires me to accept my limits. And accepting limits is difficult because within me there is a desire to know, to predict, to dominate, to control. But the truth is that I am creation, and you are creator. I see in part, you see fully. I know fragments, you know the whole. I live within time, you are Lord over time. I grow tired, you do not grow tired. I become confused, you remain in perfect wisdom. I am dust sustained by grace. You are the eternal God, King of kings and Lord of lords. So, Father, put my heart in its rightful place, not on the throne but at your feet. Remove from the throne of my life every illusion of control. Remove from the center every fear that has occupied a place that belongs only to you. Remove from the direction of my life every anxiety that is trying to guide my decisions. Remove from my mind every lie that says, I will only have peace when everything makes sense, because the peace that comes from you surpasses all understanding. It does not depend on everything being explained. It guards the heart and mind in Christ Jesus. Lord, I want this peace. Not a superficial peace that disappears when bad news comes, not a fake peace built on denial. I want the peace that comes from above, the peace that remains because it is rooted in you. Pour this peace over me now. May it enter the tense places of my soul. May it untie the knots of anxiety. May it calm repetitive thoughts. May it reach painful memories. May it disarm desperate expectations. May it remind me, God is in control. God is with me. God knows what he is doing. God does not fail. Lord, may I breathe your peace. May I sleep in your peace. May I wake up in your peace. May I make decisions in your peace. May I wait in your peace. May I go through processes in your peace. Father, I ask you to teach me to wait without despairing. Waiting is one of the most difficult schools of faith. Waiting reveals what is inside me. Waiting shows where my trust is anchored. Waiting confronts my hurry, my pride, my expectations, and my fears. But I also know that waiting can be a place of growth. The seed waits beneath the soil before breaking into visible life. A baby is formed in secret before being born. A tree grows roots before bearing fruit. Gold passes through fire before revealing its purity. Perhaps, Lord, my waiting is not the absence of movement. Perhaps it is your movement happening in depth. So if I am in a season of waiting, help me not to call it abandonment. Help me not to despise what is being formed in secret. Help me not to pull up the seed before its time. Help me not to try to produce by force what can only be born by grace. May I not force doors you have closed. May I not rush alliances that are not yet mature. May I not run toward shortcuts just because the path of obedience seems longer. Lord, guard me from shortcuts. Many shortcuts promise quick relief, but they charge the soul a high price. I want the path of your will, even if it is narrow, even if it requires patience, even if I must surrender something. Jesus said that narrow is the gate and difficult is the way that leads to life. Father, sometimes I want a wide road, an easy road, without renunciations, without delays, without conflicts, without processes. But the path that leads to life is not always the most comfortable. Even so, if you are on it, it is the best path. Do not let me choose only by comfort. Do not let me decide only by immediate relief. Do not let me trade purpose for hurry. Do not let me sell peace for control. Do not let me abandon obedience because of fear. May I prefer to walk slowly with you than to run without you. Lord, I also ask you for discernment so I do not confuse trust with ignoring signs. When something does not come from you, give me sensitivity to perceive it. When a closed door is protection, give me humility to accept it. When waiting is protection, give me patience to remain. When a loss is pruning, give me faith to believe new fruit will come. When correction is love, give me meekness to receive it. When an answer is different from what I asked, give me maturity to recognize that you know better than I do. Father, prune my life with love. Jesus said that every branch that bears fruit is pruned so that it may bear even more fruit. I confess that pruning hurts. Sometimes I do not understand why something that seemed good needs to be cut away. Sometimes I do not understand why some seasons end. Sometimes I do not understand why certain bonds weaken, why certain opportunities do not continue, why certain structures need to change. But if you are pruning, it is not to destroy me, it is to produce more life. So Lord, even when I do not understand the pruning, help me trust the gardener. You know where to cut, you know what needs to remain, you know what needs to bloom. My God, may I not cling to what you are removing. May I not call loss what is actually freedom. May I not try to resurrect what you have already brought to an end. May I not remain trapped in an old version of my life when the Lord is leading me into something new. But also, may I not despise the past. May I know how to honor what I lived, learn from what has passed, and move forward with faith. Because the Lord is the God of continuity and also of new beginnings. You are the God who heals memories and opens paths. You are the God who turns ashes into beauty, mourning into joy, and a spirit of heaviness into garments of praise. Lord, I ask you to transform the way I see struggles. May I not see every difficulty as a sign of defeat. Sometimes the struggle means I am advancing. Sometimes resistance appears because something important is being formed. Sometimes the valley is not proof of absence, but the place where the shepherd reveals himself more intimately. Sometimes the storm does not come to drown me, but to show me that Jesus has authority even over the winds. Sometimes the furnace does not come to consume me, but to reveal that there is a fourth man with me in the fire. Lord, open my spiritual eyes to perceive your presence where before I only saw problems. I do not want to romanticize pain, Father. Pain hurts. Loss wounds, waiting tires, uncertainty weighs heavily. But I also do not want to waste what can be learned with you in the middle of all this. If pain brings me closer to you, may I find comfort. If waiting makes me more patient, may I mature. If uncertainty teaches me dependence, may I be strengthened. If weakness makes room for your power, may I boast not in myself, but in your grace. As Paul heard from the Lord, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Father, may this word become reality in me. Your grace is sufficient for me. I repeat this before you because my soul needs to hear it. Your grace is sufficient for me when I have no answer. Your grace is sufficient for me when I feel weak. Your grace is sufficient for me when the door has not yet opened. Your grace is sufficient for me when the future seems uncertain. Your grace is sufficient for me when my strength diminishes. Your grace is sufficient for me when I cannot explain my process. Your grace is sufficient for me because it is not small, not fragile, not insufficient. Your grace is powerful. It sustains, forgives, lifts up, comforts, transforms, equips, and leads. Lord, I want to stop saying I will not make it when your grace is available. Alone I cannot do it, but with you I can keep going. Alone I despair, but with you I find peace. Alone I get lost in thoughts, but with you I find direction. Alone I grow tired, but with you I renew my strength. Your word says that those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. Father, renew my strength, not only physical strength, but spiritual strength. Strength to believe, strength to wait, strength to obey, strength to forgive, strength to begin again, strength to remain. And if today I am tired, Lord, I come to Jesus, because he called all who are weary and burdened to find rest in him. I come with my burdens, I come with my worries, I come with my heavy soul, I come with my responsibilities, I come with my frustrations, I come with my broken expectations, I come with what no one knows, and I hear Jesus saying, "Come to me." It is not merely a religious invitation, it is a call of love. It is the Savior saying there is rest for my soul. So I come, Lord. I come without pretending. I come without trying to fix everything first. I come as I am because only you can give me true rest. Let my soul rest in you. Teach my heart to live under your yoke, which is easy, and under your burden, which is light. Perhaps I am carrying burdens you never placed on me. Burdens of guilt, pressure, perfectionism, fear of judgment, the need to please everyone, the pressure to solve everything, the obligation to be strong all the time. Lord, remove false burdens from me. Teach me to carry only what comes from you. And even what comes from you, help me carry it with you, because I was not called to walk alone. Father, I surrender my mind to you. May thoughts of fear be confronted by your truth. May lies be exposed. May every mental stronghold that keeps me trapped in anxiety fall before the name of Jesus. May I learn to take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. When my mind says, "There is no way out," may your word answer, "I am the way." When my mind says, "You are alone," may your promise answer, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." When my mind says, "Nothing will change," may your truth answer, "Behold, I make all things new." When my mind says, "You cannot endure this," may your grace answer, "I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Lord, I also surrender my heart. Guard it, because from it flow the springs of life. Do not allow disappointment to become bitterness. Do not allow waiting to become coldness. Do not allow pain to become unbelief. Do not allow confusion to become distance from you. Purify my emotions, heal what is wounded, soften what has hardened, warm what has grown cold, restore what has been broken. May my heart remain sensitive to your voice. May I not lose tenderness. May I not become cynical, unbelieving, or closed off. May pain not steal my ability to love, believe, and hope. Father, help me forgive when the lack of understanding involves people who hurt me. Sometimes I do not understand why someone acted the way they did. I do not understand why there was betrayal, abandonment, coldness, injustice, harsh words, or ingratitude. These things leave marks and can make the soul distrust life. But I do not want to live trapped by what was done to me. I surrender these people to the Lord. I surrender the pain. I surrender the need for revenge. I surrender the desire for an explanation. I surrender the weight of trying to rewrite the past. Heal me, Father. Teach me to forgive, not because the pain was small, but because your grace is great. Teach me to move forward free. Lord, I also ask your forgiveness for the times when I was the cause of pain for someone else. If at any moment my attitudes wounded, my words hurt, my choices were selfish, my reactions were harsh, deal with my heart. I do not want only to trust you to receive comfort. I also want to trust you to be transformed. Show me where I need to change. Give me courage to ask for forgiveness when necessary. Give me humility to recognize my failures. Give me love to act with more gentleness. May the process I am going through not produce hardness in me, but maturity. My God, I want to trust you even when the path requires inner transformation. Many times I ask for circumstances to change, but the Lord wants to change something in me. I ask for the storm to stop, but the Lord wants to teach me to rest in the middle of it. I ask for people to change, but the Lord wants to work on my patience, my forgiveness, my wisdom. I ask for external answers, but the Lord wants to strengthen internal roots. Father, I accept your work in me, not only around me, but within me. May I not run from the mirror of your word. May I not resist the touch of your Spirit. Lord, make me more like Christ. May my trust without understanding produce humility, not spiritual pride. May it produce compassion, because now I know how difficult it is to go through confusing days. May it produce patience with the pain of others. May it produce words of life. May it produce a faith that welcomes, not one that judges. May it produce a true testimony, not of someone who never suffered, but of someone who was sustained by God in suffering. Not of someone who always understood, but of someone who learned to trust the God who understands all things. Father, may one day I look back and perceive your hand in details that today seem disconnected. May one day I see that there was purpose where I only saw pause, that there was protection where I only saw loss, that there was preparation where I only saw delay, that there was direction where I only saw confusion. But even before that day comes, I choose to trust. I will not wait to understand everything before I worship. I will not wait for the pain to completely pass before saying that you are good. I will not wait for the scenery to change before recognizing that you are faithful. Today, in the middle of the process, I worship you. Today, with questions still present, I worship you. Today, perhaps with tears in my eyes, I worship you. Receive my worship, Lord. Receive my small but sincere faith. Receive my imperfect but true surrender. Receive my decision to continue. Receive my yes in the middle of uncertainty. Receive my praise in the middle of waiting. Receive my life again. I am yours. My story is yours. My days are yours. My dreams are yours. My fears are yours. My future is yours. Nothing in me is beyond the reach of your grace. And now, Father, as this prayer continues to grow within me like a flame I do not want to let go out, I ask you to deepen my trust even more. Take me beyond a faith that only asks for deliverance. Lead me into a faith that knows the deliverer. Take me beyond a faith that only seeks answers. Lead me into a faith that loves your presence. Take me beyond a faith that only rests when it understands. Lead me into a faith that rests because it knows in whom it has believed. Because I know in whom I have believed, and I am convinced that he is able to guard what I have entrusted to him. Guard, Lord, what I have entrusted to you. Guard my family, guard my heart, guard my mind, guard my steps, guard my faith, guard my hope, guard my life in the center of your will. And if at any moment I try to run out of fear, pull me back with your love. If I try to take control again, remind me of the peace that exists in surrender. If I begin to murmur, remind me of the memorials of your faithfulness. If I feel weak, remind me that weakness surrendered to God becomes a place of power. Father, I remain here, and I do not want to leave in a hurry. Something is still being aligned. Something is still being quieted. Something is still being healed. I feel that trusting without understanding is like learning to breathe again. Not the heavy air of anxiety, but the breath of the Spirit. So breathe upon me, Lord. Breathe upon every person praying with me. Breathe upon tired homes, silent rooms, afflicted hearts, restless minds, and stories that seem stuck. Breathe life, breathe peace, breathe direction, breathe hope, breathe faith. And as this breath reaches my soul, may I continue surrendering to you what still remains, layer by layer, fear by fear, question by question, until my heart learns to rest completely in the Lord, not because all the answers have come, but because your presence has become enough, your voice has become my guide, your faithfulness has become my anchor, and your will, even mysterious to my eyes, has become the safest place where I can remain. And your will, even when mysterious to my eyes, has become the safest place where I can remain, because being in the center of your desire is better than being in the center of my own plans. Lord, I remain here with my soul open before you, asking that trust may grow deeper not only when everything is calm, but especially when the winds rise and I am tempted to wonder whether you are still watching. My God, I know that you see. You see what no one else sees. You see the silent struggle, the prayer interrupted by tears, the tiredness hidden behind a smile, the faith trying to remain firm even when the heart is trembling. You see the long nights, the racing thoughts, the fears that return when everything becomes quiet. And still, Lord, even seeing all my fragility, you do not reject me. You welcome me. You call me closer. You do not snuff out a smoldering wick, nor crush a bruised reed. You restore, strengthen, and sustain. Father, in this deeper part of my surrender, I ask you, transform the way I walk through the unknown. May I not step into the future as someone walking toward a threat, but as someone walking with the God who has already prepared enough grace for each day. May I not look at tomorrow as a field of fear, but as a place where your faithfulness will also be present. Because the Lord is not only the God of my yesterday, you are the God of my today and my tomorrow. Before I arrive there, you are already there. Before I face any situation, your grace has already been poured out in sufficient measure. Lord, remove from me this feeling that I need to have all the answers in order to move forward. Many times I become paralyzed because I want to understand every detail before I obey. But faith calls me to walk by trust, not by control. Your word says that we live by faith and not by sight. So if my natural eyes cannot see the way out, open the eyes of my spirit to see your character. If I cannot see the path, help me see the shepherd. If I do not understand the process, help me remember the promise. If I cannot comprehend the reason, help me rest in the certainty that the Lord is still good. Father, I now surrender the questions that still hurt. I surrender the whys that remained unanswered. I surrender the situations I tried to explain but could not. I surrender what seemed unfair, what seemed confusing, what seemed too heavy. I no longer want to carry my questions like stones inside my soul. I place them on your altar. And if the Lord wants to answer, I will listen with humility. But if the Lord chooses only to sustain me in silence for a little longer, I will also rest, because your presence is enough of an answer for me not to give up. Lord Jesus, I remember that many did not understand the cross while it was happening. To some, it looked like defeat. To others, it looked like abandonment. To the disciples, it looked like the end of everything they had hoped for. But heaven knew that, in that place of pain, the greatest victory in eternity was being born. Father, this teaches me that not everything that looks like loss is loss. Not everything that looks like an ending is an ending. Not everything that looks like silence is absence. Sometimes the Lord is working salvation in places my eyes can only call suffering. That is why, Lord, when I stand before something that seems meaningless, lead me back to the cross. The cross reminds me that your love does not need to be proven by easy circumstances. The cross shows me that the Lord can transform the place of pain into the place of redemption. The cross teaches me that the Saturday of silence does not cancel the Sunday of resurrection. The cross declares to me that, even when I do not understand, God is working in a way deeper than I can imagine. Beloved Father, strengthen my faith so that I do not abandon the process before seeing the fruit. I know that some seeds take time to break through the soil. Some answers take time. Some healings happen in layers. Some doors only open after my heart is prepared to walk through them. So, Lord, give me holy patience, not the passive patience of someone who has given up, but the hope-filled patience of someone who knows that God is working. May I wait without murmuring, walk without despairing, pray without growing discouraged, and trust without demanding that everything happen in my timing. My God, sometimes I am afraid that the waiting will change me for the worse. I am afraid of growing cold, becoming hardened, losing sensitivity, allowing disappointment to occupy places that should belong to faith. But today, I ask you, do not allow waiting to make me bitter. Let it make me more mature. Do not allow pain to make me cold. Let it make me more compassionate. Do not allow uncertainty to distance me from you. Let it teach me dependence. Do not allow questions to kill my worship. Let them lead me into a more sincere pursuit of your presence. Lord, work in me while you work for me. Many times I only want the Lord to change the circumstances, but perhaps the Lord is first changing my heart. And I accept that, Father. Change me, shape me, heal me, teach me, correct me with love, purify my intentions, align my desires, remove hidden idols, break the false security I placed in passing things. Make me understand that only the Lord is a firm foundation. Everything around me may change, but whoever is rooted in you will not be destroyed. Father, I want to build my house on the rock, not on emotions because emotions fluctuate, Not on people, because people are limited. Not on money, because riches can disappear. Not on plans, because plans can change. Not on recognition, because applause is temporary. I want to build my life on Christ. Let rain, wind, storm, and pressure come, but may my soul remain firm because it is founded on the one who never fails. Lord, if this season is revealing cracks in my foundation, I ask you, rebuild whatever is necessary. If there was too much confidence in myself, lead me to humility. If there was too much dependence on human approval, lead me to freedom. If there was too much attachment to my own plan, lead me to surrender. If there was too much fear in my heart, fill me with your love, because perfect love casts out fear. My God, I declare that I no longer want to live imprisoned by the need to understand everything. I want to live free to trust, free to obey, free to wait, free to worship in the middle of the process, free to say, Lord, I do not know how, I do not know when, I do not know through which way, but I know that you are faithful. This certainty must be greater than any scenario. This truth must speak louder than any threat. This faith must remain lit even when everything around me seems dark. Holy Spirit, ignite this faith within me. When I am weak, breathe strength. When I am confused, breathe direction. When I am afflicted, breathe peace. When I am tired, breathe renewal. When I am close to giving in to fear, remind me who my God is. Remind me that the Lord opened the sea, brought down walls, shut the mouths of lions, sustained prophets, raised the dead, healed the sick, forgave sinners, and conquered death. Nothing is impossible for you. But Father, even knowing that nothing is impossible, I also surrender to your way of working, because trusting you is not only believing that you can do what I ask, it is resting in the knowledge that you will do what is best. Sometimes the best will be to open a door. Sometimes it will be to close it. Sometimes it will be to bring something back. Sometimes it will be to teach me to let go. Sometimes it will be to accelerate. Sometimes it will be to wait. Sometimes it will be to change the circumstances. Sometimes it will be to transform my heart in the middle of them. In everything, Lord, I choose to trust. Father, visit now the one who is praying with me. Touch the person who has made it this far with tears in their eyes. Touch the one who is tired of waiting. Touch the one who received difficult news. Touch the one who does not understand why life took a certain direction. Touch the one who feels alone in a battle no one notices. Touch the one who is trying to trust, but still feels fear inside. May your presence surround this life now. May the peace of Christ invade the mind, the heart, the home, the room, and the atmosphere. May every weight be placed before you. May every anxiety bow to the name of Jesus. May every lie lose strength before your truth. Lord, may this person understand that they do not need to be strong alone. The Lord is their strength. They do not need to have all the answers today. The Lord is their direction. They do not need to carry the entire future. The Lord is the God of tomorrow. They do not need to win the battle with human resources. The Lord fights for his children. As you said to your people, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Teach us to be still, Father, to quiet the mind, to quiet the soul, to quiet the hurry, to quiet the fear, to quiet the heart before your sovereignty. My God, I now receive your peace. I receive it not because everything has been explained, but because you are with me. I receive it not because all problems have disappeared, but because the Lord is greater than all of them. I receive it not because my heart will never be tested again, but because I know that in every test, your grace will be present. I receive the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that guards, the peace that sustains, the peace that remains, the peace that comes from heaven. And with this peace I surrender my life again. I surrender what I know and what I do not know. I surrender what I see and what I do not see. I surrender what I can control and especially what I cannot. I surrender my expectations. I surrender my hurry. I surrender my attempts to predict the future. I surrender my old pains. I surrender my current worries. I surrender my next steps. Lord, stay in command. Govern my story. Lead my paths. Direct my choices. Guard my faith. Father, if I have to cross another stretch without understanding, may I cross it worshipping. If I have to wait a little longer, may I wait with hope. If I have to begin again, may I begin again with courage. If I have to let go, may I let go with confidence. If I have to move forward without all the answers, may I move forward holding your hand, because your hand is firm. Your hand does not fail. Your hand sustains me when my strength runs out. Lord, I declare that my story is not lost. My life is not beyond your reach. My prayer has not been forgotten. My tears have not been ignored. My waiting is not useless. My process is not in vain. The Lord is working. The Lord is forming. The Lord is guarding. The Lord is preparing. The Lord is leading everything according to your perfect wisdom. And as I continue in this prayer, I choose to lift up within me a worship that does not depend on explanations. I praise you because you are God. I praise you because you are good. I praise you because you are faithful. I praise you because your mercy endures forever. I praise you because even when I do not understand the path, I can trust the Father's heart. I praise you because nothing can separate me from your love that is in Christ Jesus. Not anguish, not waiting, not pain, not fear, not the present, not the future. I am kept in your love. Therefore, Lord, I keep going. I do not keep going because I know everything. I keep going because you know. I do not keep going because I am strong. I keep going because you sustain me. I do not keep going because the path is clear. I keep going because your word lights my steps. I do not keep going because I have no fear. I keep going because your presence is greater than fear. And with every step I want to declare, I trust God even without understanding. Father, may this prayer continue reaching hearts. May every person touched by this message be strengthened and also help this word go further. If this prayer spoke to you like this video, write your declaration of faith in the comments. I trust God even without understanding. And subscribe to the Meaning of the Bible to walk with us in prayer, hope, and the Word, because God still speaks, still sustains, still guides, and still transforms stories that once seemed to have no explanation.